guys, you understood this much part. This part was basically saying that we need a magnetic force is providing the necessary centrifugal force, and equating we get the radius of the circle on in which the particle is moving as MV upon VQ or T upon VQ or under root 2 and Ek upon VQ. Please note VQ is out of the root. Hai? Don't put VQ inside the root. It is out of the root. Now we are calculating the angular velocity of the moving charge. How do you calculate the angular velocity since the particle is moving in a uniform circular motion? Yes or no? I told you, no, the particle will be moving in a uniform circular motion. Velocity will remain, speed will remain constant. So omega is v upon r. If omega is v upon r, then v, and what is r? R is basically mv upon vq. V and v will get cancelled out. This vq will go up, and from here omega will be equals to vq upon m. So can you see this omega? It is independent of first the velocity with which, well, in spite of writing the velocity, you write the speed. Can you see it is this angular velocity is independent of the direction of projection. If the direction of projection would have been affected, then somewhere the theta term would have come. Right? Can you see it depends only on the magnetic field and the charge. Can you see the charge is basically the charge will have both these properties q and m, right? Guys, q and m are both the properties of that charge, right?
Yes, sir.
So please, omega is independent of that. Is this clear? Acha, note if someone asks you the work done by magnetic force, on the moving charge, yes, what is the work done? It will be zero, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Why the work done will be zero? Because Fm is perpendicular to V.
Velocity.
So angle is 90 degree. Hai? So that's why Fs 90 degree. So work done becomes zero. Similarly, the instantaneous power is also zero. Why? Because instantaneous power is given force dot velocity. Can you see the direction between force and velocity is 90 degree? So even the instantaneous power is also zero. Is this clear? Is this
So could you
clear?
explain that once again?
Yeah.
Could you
Explain it.
explain that once again?
See, work done by this magnetic force on moving charge should be zero. Why it should be zero? Because Fm is perpendicular to velocity is always in the direction of displacement. So Fm dot s is F dot s is work, right? You remember
Yes, sir.
work is F dot s. So whatever the direction of velocity, that is the direction of displacement. So displacement and force have 90-degree angle, hence the work done becomes.
Zero.
And similarly, the instantaneous power also is zero. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So it's a cross product. The power, instantaneous power
Dot
is a cross product.
dot. It's a scalar quantity. The power work they are scalar quantity. Dot. Fs cos theta.
Okay.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Achha, please remember omega is independent of the speed. So no matter whatever speed with which you are throwing it, the particle will always go with a constant angular velocity. Okay? Sir, what do you mean by this? अभी उसको मैं और थोड़ा simplify करूँ. Omega, is this clear? Omega? Everyone, is omega clear? The first result was basically what? The radius. The second result is basically angular velocity. The first result clear, second result clear. Yes or no? Now the third result is basically time period of particle. Time period of revolution of charged particle. So can you see over here, guys? Omega was equals to dq by m. But now we know omega is nothing but 2 pi by t, right? Yes or no? Are yes or no? So from
Yes,
here,
sir.
can I write time period is basically twice of pi m by d? Can I say time period is this? And similarly, I can say frequency also. We know frequency is nothing but 1 upon time period. So basically, frequency will be
Yes, sir.
dq upon 2 by m. So can you see even the time period, even the frequency, they are independent of the velocity. They are independent of velocity. And when I say velocity, then the direction as well as the speed doesn't matter over here. So even the direction of projection is not there important, and even the speed is not important. So that implies what? That implies what? I have a magnetic field which is acting into the plane, and let me throw two particles. I have thrown this particle with a velocity v1, and I will throw this particle with a velocity v2. Same identical charge plus q and mass m. Can you see both charges are identical? But I am saying that कि v2 को मैं ज़्यादा speed से take रहा हूँ. I'm throwing v2 at a higher speed. So basically, what will happen? Suppose if both of them are thrown at t equals to 0, then can you see the circular part of this? And guys, you understood what exactly happened? This is the center of the first circle. This is the radius r1. This is the center of the second circle, and this is the radius r2. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So guys, see, when I throw them with different velocities, the radius of the circle, I'm writing the conditions, two identical charges, thrown with different speeds. V1 and V2. V2 is greater than V1 in a uniform magnetic field. Then the radius of the circle for the bigger velocity charge but in such a way You remember this, guys? Since V2 is greater than V1, then automatically R2 will become greater than R1. That implies they should be in such a way that this ratio remains constant. Sir, what do you mean by this? That implies both will complete the circle in the same time. Suppose if this covers an angle 120 degree in time, let's say t by 3. So this also will cover 120 degree in the same time t by 3. Are you getting my point, guys? You remember same phase, this thing, simple harmonic motion. So basically, their phase will be same. Very nice. They will complete the circle in the same time. The bigger circle, the bigger velocity charge will move with the higher velocity, obviously. So when it was covering faster, we made the path a little bit so that they both cover. Is this clear, guys? I understood this concept. Everyone understood this concept. They should be in such a way that omega is equals to this. That implies their omega should be same. Their angular velocity should be same. Both should complete the circle in the same time. Shall I give you one question based on this now? We'll give you more questions based on this. But, anyway, we're done writing. Is this clear, guys? Shall I give you some questions? Suppose, guys, this is the magnetic field given in the space, only in this much region, which I am marked in a box. I have this charge plus q sent with the velocity v. So tell me, guys, if I send this with a velocity v, what will happen as soon as it enters a magnetic field? It will experience a force, right? What will be the direction of force? Direction of force will be upwards or downwards? Tell me. Upwards, right? So the direction of force will be upward. That implies this charged particle will try to rotate in that upward direction. So it will go like this, right?
So how will we know what's going upward?
Force is equals to Q into V cross B. If you remember, it will always deflect in the direction of the force. Bless you. Bless you. एक और बार is this clear? So basically it will deflect in the upward direction. So when it deflects in the upward direction, like this, it will reach over here. But after this, there is no magnetic field. So basically it will go tangential to this velocity. It will start moving in a straight line path, right? Yes or no? Now the question is, what is this angle of deflection? Can you see this angle? Find the angle through which it got deflected. Acha, if this is, let's name it, this is A. This distance is given as A, and we need to find out what is this delta. Okay, this is the first part. Find the angle of A. Let me make the box a bit bigger. Yes, guys, please tell me fast.
So what is A in the figure?
A is basically the distance where the magnetic field is existing. Till here. First of all, guys, tell me this particular thing. We know that this object is going in this direction, but due to this force Fm, it moves in a circular path like this. So basically, from part P to point Q, is it a circle? P to Q, is it a circular path? Yes or no?
Yes.
From P to Q, it's a circular path. Okay. Now, see this very carefully, guys. If the velocity is v, then the radius will be equals to how much? If I say this charge is plus q and mass is m, so will this be equals to m v by v q? Will it be like this? Yes or no? Hello, guys. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
basically, if I say from the center to the point P, they have given how much? The radius is how much? From here to here, this is r. From here to here also, this is r. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Then OP and OQ will be equals to R, which we know in the value. Yes or no? This much is given how much? A. And what are they asking? They are asking basically what is the angle of deflection between these two. This angle they are. Now can you see this, guys? This angle is 90 degrees, this angle is 90 degrees. So whatever this angle comes and this angle, will the sum be 180 degree? Yes or no? So P Q, let's name it as M. So angle OPQ is equals to angle OQM. These both angles are equal to 90 degrees. So since OPM, I'll color it with a different color so that these will be able to see the color. Can you see OPMQ is a quadrilateral? Can you see this thing? Everyone can see this thing, right? So basically the sum of this angle and the sum of this angle should be 180 degree because the other two angles is 90 degree, and we know the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree, right? Everyone knows this much maths. This is what I assume. Everyone knows this math, right? Ayana,
Yes, sir.
math student I can expect. Bio student, do you know this much? If whenever you have a quadrilateral, the sum of all the interior angles of the quadrilateral is 360 degrees, right? So out of that 360 degrees, this is 90, this is 90. So how much is remaining? 180, right?
Yes, sir.
So the sum of angle POQ and PMQ is basically 90 degrees. Now see over here, guys. If I say this is theta, so this should be what? This should be 180 minus theta. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So can you see over here 180 minus theta plus delta? That's this angle which we need to find. We were required to find out delta, right? Weren't we required to find out delta? Were we required to find out this angle of deviation, right? Can you see from here? 180 minus theta plus delta is 180 degree. So what happened? 180 and 180 will get cancelled out, and theta and delta will become equal, right?
Yes, sir.
Mom,
Once more, can you see 180 and 180 minus theta, and this delta is becoming what? The sum of the two angles is basically 180 degree because it's the same line, right? So 180 minus theta plus this delta is basically 180. So from here, when I saw theta and delta equal, oh my god, what just happened? So now if this theta is delta, then basically I need to find out this theta, which I can find very easily. Yes, sir. Like, okay. So suppose now the question becomes something like this. Basically, they have given this much distance. This is theta, this is delta, and this is r, which is equals to mv by. Yes or no, guys? Now see, guys, over here. This whole distance is r. So what will be this distance? Will it be equals to r minus a?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? So if this is r minus a, this is theta, and can you see over here cos of delta is basically equals to r minus a upon r. So r minus a, the base upon the hypotenuse, right? Yes or no? The cos delta is basically this. We can write it as 1 minus a upon r, and what is r? Yes, what is r? R is nothing but mv. So delta will be equals to cos inverse of 1 minus a. Is this clear? This is the answer for your process. Please write it down. Just tell me whenever you're done, guys.
So how do we know that angle OQM is 90? Is it because it's a tangent?
Yes, it is because velocity is always tangential to the circle. Right?
Yes. Is it clear? Acha, in spite of giving you this A, if I would have not given it, if I would have given this distance from here to here, then what will be the case? Then what will you do? We'll just write sine of delta.
perpendicular upon hypotenuse, so you will write d upon the side. That would be fine. है ना? So depending upon the question, it's not like you always this will be the form. This is not a formula. This is just a type. Okay. The type will may be same, but can ask you different. Right? Is this clear, guys? Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Suppose there are two different cases. So this is the first case. This is the second case. In this case, the object is thrown like this. So can you see this object is thrown like this? That implies the velocity vector is making how much angle? Angle theta. Let's see. है ना? So there is this charge plus q mass m, and basically this charge is thrown like this. Okay. In the next case, I'm doing what? I'm throwing the charge like. In both of the cases, can you see the angle from the vertical boundary was basically how much? What was the angle from the boundary? Now the question is, find the ratio of time spent by the charge in the magnetic field in both cases. Basically, you want the ratio for 1:2. Okay. I want you to find the ratio. Everyone understood the question, right? Guys,
Yes, sir.
you understood the question of what exactly happened? I have thrown in both the cases I have thrown with the same speed, the same charge. But can you see in one case I have thrown it with an angle theta like this, and one case I have thrown it at an angle like this. So I want you to find out what is the time ratio of time spent by the charge in both the cases. Acha, will the answer be one? Will the answer be 1:1? Can you see everything is same? Even theta is same, vertical, right? Is everything same in this case, or they are completely different cases? Anyone would like to answer this? Are they completely different cases, or are they the same? Acha. First of all, can anyone tell me what will be the direction of forces in both the cases? What will be the direction of force? I told you now, in my, always force and magnetic field, every one will be perpendicular to each other. So can you see the velocity is like this, magnetic field is like this? Will this be the direction of force? And what will be this force? This force will be Q into V into P, right? Similarly, over here, when the charged particle will be over here, will this be the magnetic force? Yes or no? So can you see, guys, basically the difference in both the cases will be the direction of magnetic force, due to which, if I draw the trajectory of this particle, the trajectory will look like this. Can you see this, guys? The trajectory will look like. And the charged particle would leave here at a velocity v, same velocity v. So can you see this red part is basically the trajectory which is inside. Similarly, what will happen to the white one? It will go like this. Guys, did you understand what is the difference between both the cases?
So both are moving almost in the same path, right?
Both are.
What's it? It's basically directing it outside. So what's the difference?
The
Shouldn't
difference in
it
both the
be
cases is basically the direction of projection of velocity with the boundary. Can you see? In this case, the boundary started from here, and the angle at which this was entering the boundary was theta with respect to the vertical component. Can you see? We are not talking about the angle between the velocity vector and the magnetic field vector. We are talking about the angle between the velocity vector and basically the boundary. Can you see? In this case, the center will lie over here, and in this case, the center will lie over here. Can you understand both the cases? Most of the circle is incomplete in this case, and most of the circle is complete in this case. Are you understanding my point?
Yes.
So basically, this was the only difference. The trajectory 1 was shorter inside, and trajectory 2 was. So how will you decide the trajectory? By seeing the direction of V and Fm. V and Fm. And you see the center is lying over here. So the radius, this is the radius, this is the radius. Are you getting my point? Similarly here, this will be the radius, this will be. Are you getting my point, guys? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
basically, what will be the only difference? I'll draw it simply for you. I'm trying to draw it again for you because. And what will be the direction of forces? Direction of forces. This will be a similarly. In the second case, this was the initial direction of velocity. This one. The radius will be same in both the cases, guys. The radius will be the same in both of the cases. The only difference was can you understand the cases, guys? everyone? Are you understanding? My
Yes, sir.
drawing may not be that creative, but I try my best to at least tell you what exactly I mean. And what will be the direction of forces in this case? The direction of forces will be like this. This angle should be 90 degrees. This angle, both of them should. Is this clear, guys? Yes, this clear. So
Yes,
this
sir.
will be the diagram on both of the case. Please draw these diagrams. Don't draw the previous one, draw these. Now basically what you need to find out, you need to find out the time this thing spent in the circuit. Now do we know this? Since angular speed omega is constant, that implies the time taken to cover 360 degrees was basically how much? Yes, guys, can anyone tell me the time taken to cover 360 degrees, basically complete one revolution, was how much? Was it equals to 2 pi m upon vq? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the time taken was basically 2 pi m upon vq for 360 degree. If we can just find out this angle theta, and this angle let's say phi. If I can say just find out this angle phi 1 and I can find out this angle phi 2. So if I can find phi 1 and phi 2, then automatically corresponding to that I can calculate time as well, right? So if I say T1 is corresponding to phi 1 and T2 is corresponding to phi 2, that implies the ratio of T1 is to T2 will be the ratio of phi 1 is to phi 2, right? Why all of this is happening? Because omega was constant.
So,
Hmm?
why do we take phi to outside?
Because center can you see this is the part of circle which we want, the red part we want, right? So that's why the angle
Yes.
corresponding to that we wanted. Here the red part we wanted to see the angle corresponding to the red part I want.
Oh,
I want
okay,
the
sir.
time during which this was inside the magnetic. So when it was red, it was inside, right? When it was red, it was inside.
Yeah.
I want that reason only.
Okay, sir.
That is. So if I can find out phi 1 and phi 2, can anyone help me to find out phi 1 and phi 2? Can you see, guys, if I just produce this in the backward direction and produce this in the forward direction? Hello, people. What will be this angle?
Yes, sir.
90 degree. What will be this angle? 90 degree. Can you see it is the same thing?
Mm.
है ना? Now, if I can, this angle was theta. From here to here, it was theta. From here to here, it was theta, right?
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा सा maths will be involved, but I hope you people will. In the first case, will this be the quadrilateral so far? So will this be the quadrilateral so found, guys? In this case, OPQ1. OPQ1. This was the bound. This angle is given total phi 1. This angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. They have said this angle is theta and this angle is also theta. Tell me if this angle is theta, then what is this angle? What is this angle? This is 90 degree. This is theta. So what shall be this? Shall this be 90 minus theta?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Can you see in triangle O? So कुछ नाम दे दूँ N O N N Q. If this total angle is phi 1, then this much angle is phi 1 by 2. So phi 1 by 2 plus 90 minus theta plus 90 degree should be equals to 180. Which three angles am I talking about? I'm talking about this angle, and this angle. So all these three angles, the sum of these three angles is how much? 180 degrees. So from here, can you see 90 plus 90? So we get cancelled with 1, 1. And can you see phi 1 phi 1 by 2 minus theta is equals to 0. From here, phi 1 will be equal to 1. So this will be the answer in the first case. Okay, guys. Thoda sa, it's not a physics question anymore. It became maths, trigonometry, not trigonometry. What is it called? Geometry, right? Not even sine, cosine involved. Only angles. We are playing on angles. That's it. Now in the next case, guys, what is given? This is the case, right? Guys, was this the case in the second case? Tell me, was this the case or not? Can you see, was this the case? I'm not drawing this red part. I just want what is the value of theta in terms of what is the value of phi 2 in terms of theta. So basically, this angle was how much? They said phi 2. If this angle was phi 2 and this angle was theta and this angle is also theta, right? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Will these two angles be theta and theta?
Yes.
Right or wrong? So tell me this thing, guys. If this is theta, this is phi 2, then this is basically 360 minus phi 2. And this is basically 90 minus theta. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. Sorry. Where am I mistake? So in this case, guys, this angle was theta, the one which it makes with horizontal, right? The one, the one which it makes with vertical, and this angle was theta, right? So if this is theta, this is 90, then this should be 90 minus theta, right? Similarly, if this is theta, then this should be 90 minus theta. And what should be this? This should be 360 minus 5. 2. So can you see 1, 2, and 3 triangles? 3 angles of a triangle with 90 minus theta plus 90 minus theta plus 360 minus 5 2 is basically equals to 180 degree. Now can you see over here 90, 90, 90 and 90 will get cancelled with this. So this will be minus of theta plus 360 minus phi 2 is equals to 0. So can you see over here from here phi 2 will be going to the right hand side and it is 360. So I got what is phi 2, I got what is phi 1. So basically the ratio will be what? The same as angle, and this should be equal to. And please remember guys, if you don't want 360 degree, always convert it into pi because the answer will be given in terms of pi. So 2 pi minus 2 theta divided by 2 theta, so this will be equals to pi minus theta upon theta, and that will be your answer. Is this clear? Shall I go back again? Shall I do the question? Is it fine? You understood? Can you? I just merged two different questions into a single question by calculating the time period. Okay.
So can you briefly explain again?
Let me explain the again. So basically, this was the first case where I, sent it with the angle theta with the boundary like this, and in the next case, I sent it like theta. In this case, so in both the case, the magnitude of the force was same, but can you see the direction was different? The center of the circular trajectory was forming outside the magnetic field, and here in this case, it was forming inside. Although it doesn't matter, but can you see because of that, the trajectory which was inside the magnetic field became changed, the length of the trajectory. So can you see this is the trajectory 1 and this is the trajectory 2, right? So basically we were required to find out what is basically the time taken, ratio of time taken inside. We all know that the angular speed is constant. That constant is basically 2 pi m by bq, right? So basically if I say the time period is t, if I say the time period is t, so 2 pi m by bq is basically the time period, not the angular one. So if I say the time period is 2 pi m by b2, that applies the time taken to cover 360 degrees this much, right? So if I can just find out the angle which is inside the magnetic field, corresponding the angle is phi 1, and here can you see to the red part the corresponding angle is phi 2, yes or no? So if I can just find out the angles which are phi 1 and phi 2, automatically I can give the ratio of time as well. So T1 will be equals to phi 1, T2 will be equal to. So I just calculated the ratio came to be equal to phi 1 and phi 2. And this, after that, the only quest was to find out what is phi 1 and phi 2 using geometry. So can you see over here in the previous case, in the first case, a quadrilateral OQMP is being formed. So OQMP, we drew a quadrilateral, and then this angle was theta, this angle was theta, so this became 90 minus theta, and this became phi 1 by 2. So automatically we calculated and we got the value of phi 1. So always remember, whenever this angle is 2 pi, whenever the velocity with which we have thrown is theta, then the angle through which it gets deviated, is basically, this is the angle of deviation also. So questions are based on angle of deviation. So, anyways, is this clear, guys? So T1 is basically this, and similarly T2 is. So you can draw the diagram perfectly.
Theta by pi minus theta.
What, beta?
It should be theta by pi minus theta, right?
Theta by pi minus theta. Let me check. Okay. You fine now?
Yes, sir.
Please note it down. It was a big example, but now we learned some things, right? Please remember these trigonometry, geometry part may be a little bit hindrance because maths, है ना? But if it's simple elementary maths. The sum of the three angles of a triangle is 90 degrees, quadrilateral is 360 degrees, opposite angle is 90 degrees, quadrilateral is cyclic. ये सब याद है आपको 10th grade maths? All of the theorems we studied in 10th grade maths. So I think this is pretty much clear. Let me give you one more question. So write down these questions as homework questions. These questions are easy, so counts, not this. A charge 4 microcoulomb enters in a region of uniform magnetic field with a velocity 4 I cap plus 7 j cap. Experiences a force of 5 I cap plus k j cap. Minus k. So find the value. I think this question is easy. The people will be able to do it now. Guys, have you noted down this question? Charge 4 microcoulomb enters. Everyone noted out this question, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, what's the answer for the first question? Yeah, this question. Are you doing that question as of now? Do it. Till the time I'm writing this question, try to do that question. Now, see, guys, the previous question, it's basically given, they have given the velocity and they have given the force, right? And they have not given any magnetic field or anything like that, right? And they're just asking what is the value of K. So what to do in this type of question? We just know a single concept that force vector, the magnetic force and velocity vector aren't they perpendicular to each other? Are they perpendicular to each other?
Yeah.
If they are perpendicular to each other, that implies that dot product should be. Are you getting my point? So that implies 4 multiplied by 520 plus 7 multiplied by minus 7k should be equal to 0, and from here k is equal to 0. It was looking big, but it is not big at all. Simple concept, simple. This we know. So we applied using vectors and found out the value. Okay. Now please try to do the next question. And this is the last question of this. After this, we'll do the helical part. So guys, can you see over here in the second question, I'll draw the diagram for you. Although the diagram is not given in the question, so don't expect the diagram will be given, but still I'm giving. So can you see there is a single beam of light having a kinetic energy, how much? What is the kinetic energy? 1000 electron volt, which is basically 1000 multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. Yes or no? Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is basically the energy. Now this beam of light is having how many particles? There are two different particles of two different masses. M1 is 8 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. And M2 is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 26 kg. First of all, whenever it is given like this, try to make them the same units for easier comparison. Okay. So can you see now 8 and 16? Which one is heavier? Guys, which one is heavier? M2 is
M2.
greater than M1. Okay? Now, what have they given? It's basically, the so what have they given? They have said that there is a screen which is perpendicular to the rod. Can you see over here? There is a plate. This is the plate or whatever they said. This is the plate, right? Now they are saying, this beam of singly ionized charged particle. Can you see? Singly ionized charged particle. That implies what is the charge? If anything is singly ionized, what does that mean? Hello? Singly ionized means one electron removed, right?
Charge is one proton.
One electron removed. Charge on one proton or one electron removed, right? When we
Yeah.
remove one electron, will the charge gained by every particle will it be equal to plus C? Or will it be plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs? So this will be the charge. This is the masses of the two particles involved, and they are saying there's a plate at a distance of how much? The plate is at a distance of how much? D, which is equal to 0.01 meters. And I don't want my beam to hit this particular thing. We know this particular thing, they are applying a magnetic field in space. Yes or no? Are they applying a magnetic field in the space? Can you see over here?
Yes, sir.
First from one axis, there is a plate at a distance from one end of the tube. Find the minimum magnetic field in the region so that the beam will not strike the plate. So if I don't want this thing to, this charged particle to strike the plate, that implies all my charged particles should rotate before striking, right? Should they be rotating like this?
Yes.
Are you getting my point, guys? And then it will go like this. So if
So I had one doubt.
yeah, tell me.
For minimum magnetic field, whatsoever be the magnitude, theta is always 90.
No, it's not necessary, but the force we are trying to make the force maximum. If we make the
Okay.
force maximum to theta, we have taken it as 90 degrees. Although they have already given in the question.
Okay, sir.
Hanji, Obey, you were asking something?
So why can't it go upward?
Why can't it go upward? Because it's a plus q charge. Velocity is like this. Is it a plus q or a minus q?
Plus, right?
So make it go plus upwards, or in spite of making it go like this, don't do like this. Do it. The direction is up to us, no? Was the direction up to us?
Yeah.
So, is it fine now?
Okay.
Now will it go down?
Fine. Yeah.
The direction they haven't said anything about the direction. So I can take the direction on now.
Okay.
So now V is over here and magnetic field is coming out of the plane. So now my thumb is pointing down. Yes, perfect. Right? So now it will be moving in this direction. Still the catch is not there. Can you see the masses are different? Can you see the masses are different? One is M1, one is M2. We know that R is equals to mv upon bq, or since I don't want in terms of velocity, I want in terms of what? The kinetic energy, right? So will it be like this? Yes or no? Now can you see over here, the one which has a greater mass will have a greater radius? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That implies the radius 2 is greater than R1. The radius for the heavier particle is more. So if I can bend the heavier particle, will the lighter particle automatically bend before colliding? Will the lighter particle automatically deviate before striking. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? So basically, what exactly is happening over here? Suppose if I give you like this. Suppose if I say this is the plate. Let's say this is the plate, and this is basically a tube from where it's not happening. I don't know. So anyway, suppose. So guys, can you understand exactly what is happening? Just see this part. Just say this part. This is the green one is for the heavier particle, and the small one, the blue one is for the lighter particle. Can you see if I can bend the heavier particle just before the it strikes the plate? Automatically, the heavier particle will be bent before it, right? So that is what I meant by this particular statement. If I can bend the heavier particle, the lighter particle will automatically deviate before striking the plate. So basically, if I can say this is the radius, then this distance should be greater than the radius of the heavier particle. Then only this condition will be satisfied, right? Yes or no? This is R2 and this is R1. If B is greater than R2, then they will not strike. So I can just write B is basically 0.1 meter should be greater than R2 should be twice of what is the mass of the second, the heavier one, 16 into 10 to the power minus 27 multiplied by what was the kinetic energy? 1000 electron volt divided by what is the magnetic field? I want to calculate what is the magnetic field multiplied by Q. The charge was 1.6 into 10 to the power minus. So can you see from here B can go over here and this can come over here. I can multiply with the whole equation with B, right? So B and B will get cancelled and B will be. So that's the final answer. Can you see, guys? B should be greater than this. If B should be greater than this, that implies the minimum is equal to this. So this is the last question. You got it now? Guys, do you have a class tomorrow as well? No? Which is the do you have the last class as physics or the first class as physics?
In between, yes,
I think so you have the last class.
Second class. Yeah.
Something in
Second class.
between.
Yes, sir.
3:30 to 5. Okay, no problem. So, is this clear? Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Now write down heading. Motion of a charged particle. Then thrown at certain angle. See, when it was thrown at 90 degrees, so you can know then what happens, right? It moves in a perfect circular path, right? When the angle is 90 degree, then you know this what perfect circular path. But when you throw it at certain angle, then see what happens. So basically, suppose guys, this is your magnetic field which is acting towards right, okay? And now I have this charge plus q and mass, and I am throwing this charge at an angle theta with the magnetic. Can you see the angle between the velocity vector and the magnetic field vector is theta? Right or wrong?
yes, sir.
So basically, how will be the motion of this particle, which we are going to understand that. So what exactly will I do? I'll first break this motion into two separate motions. एक second, just give me a minute. So, guys, basically, what am I doing over here in this case? I'll be just breaking this velocity into two components. What are those two components? One will be the perpendicular component, and one will be the parallel component. So, can you see V parallel? What is this V parallel component? Is it equals to V cos theta? And can you see this V perpendicular is basically equals to V sin theta? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So basically, what will I do? I'll just delete all this stuff. So I'll just make the question into two different parts. Can you see this V perpendicular over here? This is nothing but your V sin theta. And in the next case, it will be what? B. B parallel, which is equals to B. So now can you see both the cases? I broke this case, the general case, into what? है ना? Here theta was basically what? The angle between velocity vector and magnetic field vector. This is an important derivation, school derivation. So let us consider. Acha, first you will write the statement over here. Did you start writing? Everyone started drawing this thing, right? Before drawing the diagrams, you will write this statement over here. Let us consider a charge q plus q with mass m, charge plus q, mass m. Now, with the velocity v at an angle theta with the magnetic. So basically, always remember in this statement, you need to just introduce to the derivation. There's nothing to write, too much heavily or like that. Just introduce whatever you are thinking in that derivation, whatever is required. Just write that in the statement. Definitely 1 mark will get for the statement at least. Obviously, the whole derivation should be correct. Then only it adds a little bit to the presentation skills. So don't forget this statement. Now, the velocity vector can be resolved into two components: v sine theta, which is basically the perpendicular component, and second is v cos theta, which is basically the parallel component. Please remember, parallel component to what? Perpendicular component of a velocity to the magnetic field. ऐसे लिखना पूरा है ना बकायदा. So this is parallel perpendicular. Now, due to v sine theta, due to the perpendicular component, the particle will be subjected to a force Acha, what will be the direction of this force? What will be the direction of this force? Everyone? Can you see velocity is upward, magnetic field is right. Is your thumb pointing into the plane? Everyone, is your thumb pointing into the plane? All the fingertips in the direction perpendicular to the magnetic field and move it towards into the plane. This force will be responsible. This force will be responsible for the circular motion of the charge, right? Yes or no, guys? Are you understanding? One component of the velocity is giving you the circular motion. Whereas the other component cos theta doesn't experience any force. Why doesn't it experience any force? Because V parallel and magnetic field are parallel to each other, right? And I told you this thing very clearly that whenever magnetic field and velocity are perpendicular to each other, are parallel to each other, then there is no force. There is only force when they are perpendicular or at an angle, right? Yes or no, guys? Is this clear?
Yes.
This makes the particle move in uniform motion along the magnetic. After this, we'll continue in the next class. Please write it.